Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Prismata. Let's jump in the queue here. It's been a little while since I have played ranked. I assume my rank number reflects that, although I don't remember what it was last time you guys saw. I've been recording the Why Did I Lose series, which is done by now, right? By the time this is published, the first set of episodes anyway is over. What is all this? Kind of looks like red to get you Ferritin sacks for Odin might be good, but also like red to get you Blood Rager could be good instead. Could you do both? I don't know. Thorium Dynamo into Sinestra, kind of cool. I think Blood Rager is going to be pretty important here, because Infusion Grid is good, and no matter what you do, you're going to be getting some blue, even if you just buy one Ferritin sack for it. It's too good to pass up. On the other hand, if you go red, like, you won't have the Ferritin sack popping in time for your opponent's Blood Rager, so maybe they won't. I don't know. It does seem like the kind of set where you can just go, like, red only and get Odin out of 3 Ferritin sacks. Right? Maybe that's what we do, is, like, what if I went Drone Animus here? Forget these Thorium Dynamos. I need to get my blue coming, right? And then we just go back to droning and buy Ferritin sacks. We don't actually buy any red stuff. And then, like, eventually we maybe get some Tarsiers or something. I kind of want to try that. And it should scare my opponent, who's, like, relatively vulnerable right now, because of this Thorium Dynamo. Maybe he'll overreact. No. Okay. Well, would have been nice, huh? Now, what if I now do this? Now that I have my access to red and I can start banking blue, I don't mind building a Thorium Dynamo, right? I just didn't want to cut so early. Honestly, I just want, like, more of these. Give me all the blue. I'll get 1 Infusion Grid. Probably. Although he'll Blood Rager me, I guess. Still, it seems useful to have, because otherwise I might have trouble getting the Odin out. Something like this, and then next turn I should be able to buy an Odin pretty effectively, right? I can buy another drone. I'm wasting the red if I do that, whereas if I cancel the drone... Or no, I'm not, because I'll actually have $22. Well, okay, it's... I can either cut the drone... Yeah, okay. So if I do this, I can buy 2 Ferritin sacks next turn. If I do this, I can't buy any. I don't really want any more blue. I think this is plenty. Get 2 grids and an Odin. So I think that I will choose to float the red that turn. Yeah, that seems okay. I can get 1 Ferritin sack, I guess. But I don't really want any more. I don't know, grids are still good, right? Sure. we're buying a grid here. I kind of want a Gauss cannon. How much attack do I have next turn? 6? He wants to double Blood Rager next turn, although I don't know if he can actually do that. I think just building a Gauss cannon is probably better than any of this other nonsense. I'm not gonna realistically double Blood Rager next turn, am I? Maybe I can. What if I hold this? That's 12 bucks? Sorry, 14 bucks? Well, I mean, that certainly is within reach for me, right? And I can still click to buy another infusion grid? Oops, click this. Although, I could click this as well. This is kind of nice to actually be able to threaten a Sinestra someday. And force fields are going to become important pretty soon against an opponent with 3 Blood Ragers and 2 Sinestras. Alright, but we're done Blood Ragering him. I really want to just click this Odin here. It's a bit difficult to do. I'm just like $1 short, huh? Of being able to... Either $1 short or green short of being able to build a Sinestra. But it's pretty ambitious anyway, right? I should just do something like this. I do want to keep both of these online, right? So I want to threaten to freeze his infusion grid. And if I defend this way, I'm sort of losing one of them. So I think another force field is more important than that engineer. Oh wow, clicking Ferritin sack to hold drone. That's pretty gnarly. Keep pushing. So he might be winning here, actually. So, like, first of all, notice I can get a breach in this way if I want, but I don't think it's a breach I really want that badly. Right, it's a breach for exact, and, like, how exactly do I defend? You know, this doesn't do it, and my Odin's not going off anymore. So I don't think I want that line. I think I need this. I guess I do want one more Shiver Yeti to cover the force field he can build next turn. And we can get to like a Sinestra and a Tarsier this way, I think. Which seems pretty good to me. Right, freezing these guys and letting the Rhino die. On the other hand, I don't have a lot of defense if I do that, I suppose. So maybe I just need to, like, keep letting him hold all these drones, but not actually go in with the Odin. Oops. Like this. So how much could I get if I actually went in for everything? I still can't quite kill him. So I don't think I'm doing this. I think this is enough. Well, it's the most I can realistically do. And he's losing both force fields. Wait, 3, 5... No, force field drone is what he loses here. Force field wall drone. And all he can build next turn is a force field, because if he's holding all of his drones. I think I ought to have a good opportunity next turn. Although I'm losing these two Shiver Yetis. And the Rhino. I'm pretty scared here. I think he kind of wins. He's attacking for so much more than I am. These two early Shiver Yetis, like, maybe should have been Rhinos. They could have done actual... Cause, like, they're sort of combined doing 1 damage right now by freezing the grid. But I guess they're also threatening, like, 4 freeze, which is pretty important. Yeah, I'm, like, super toast. He wins this one. Yeah, I just didn't quite get enough real attack. The Odin was cool pressure, but not quite enough. He was able to buy more real attackers with the Sinestra into Blood Rager's business. And I tried to pressure with these Shiver Yetis. I don't know if they were worth it or not. Like, on paper, these two Shiver Yetis were doing 1 damage per turn, which is worse than 2 Rhinos would have done. But they were doing 1 damage per turn, you know, by freezing the grid, of course. But forcing him to defend for 4, right? Like, they were doing 1 damage per turn, and additionally, when I built them, my opponent had to start defending for 4 more. I didn't actually kill that 4 defense, just 3 of it. So each one of them was sort of like... Or these two Shiver Yetis are sort of like a single Tarsier and 3 Gauss charges, in a way, right? A fast Tarsier, let's say. They're dealing 1 damage and kind of shocking the opponent to have to defend. But that shock is transient, right? They overdefend by 4, well, call it 3, every turn for the rest of the game. But if you're not actually killing that defense, that's sort of the same as, like, on this turn, destroy 3 defense and then don't do it again. That's why I say 3 Gauss charges. I think that this turn here was sort of my turning point, where I said, look, let's just try to, like, go really, you know, hit him very hard to say that this Sinestra was too greedy, was what I was thinking to show my opponent, right? You can't build this Sinestra because if you do, I'll click my Odin 3 times and build Shiver Yetis and freeze you to get to all your stuff on the back line. It didn't actually work out that way, and so, like, what might I have done instead? I mean, I could leave things as they are, but I'm attacking for 10, and he's attacking for 13, which is not such a substantial difference, I suppose. Could I click all these guys and add a Sinestra? I could, in fact. Right, like Sinestra, Force Field. Is 13. I could even Rhino? That destroys just about all of my defense, though, and I won't really be able to defend much after that. It feels so greedy, right? Can I really do that? I don't think so. Like, let's say I try. Rhino, because one Shiver Yeti isn't doing all that much. I'm in sort of the value game at this point, not the threat game. He is building a grid, of course, and oh, I forgot he has 2 of these, so he has a Blast Force. That is to say, he doesn't necessarily need to click this to build a grid. He's building the grid with his Blast Force blue. I wonder if I could have, like, gotten a Frostbrooder at some point. That would have been really good. Probably not against infusion grids. If I buy it, I'm attacking for less, and then he doesn't have to build as many walls. He can build grids instead, and that makes the Frostbrooder worse. I don't know. Like, what did he do in the game? Well, I was attacking very hard, and so he built a bunch of defense. Fine, of course. I'm lost. What was... This is the turn where we consider me making a change? Yeah, okay. So this was the turn where I was building Force Field, Rhino... No, not double Force Field. Single Force Field, Rhino, Sinestra. And he builds a grid. And does he try to get more attackers? I don't know. There's not really any good attackers he especially wants at the moment. Probably he just gets Shiver Yetis? Well, it's sort of better to buy a grid and a Ferritin sack than it is to buy a Shiver Yeti if you don't need the defense right away. I don't know, this threatens some attack, but this is sort of a nice, efficient defense train. Maybe it's too defensive. I don't know. I'm still threatening a lot. Oh, he's not defended right now against all my threats, so he can't do something like this. Yeah, wow, this Sinestra makes him do a lot of defense. Even though I'm not clicking the Odin yet. But I'm also, like, he has a much easier time actually making defense than I do, is the thing, right? Maybe he does like this, which defends barely. But remember, a lot of what he's defending against is fake threat from the Odin, which I can, like, barely even arrange to click if I really want to. Yeah, it just sort of felt like he's attacking for so much, and I don't have blue. I don't have, like, much defensive tech. I only have the 1 green. If I didn't start clicking the Odin when I did, I think I'd never be able to, and I'd just sort of have to lose the splitters gradually on defense. Yeah, like, what am I doing here, right? This doesn't even defend? I guess this does if we assume he's, like, Well, okay, right. We're not clicking the Odin. That helps. So I can do this. So let's how much did I actually attack for? I attacked for 13, and he's attacking for 13 also. But he has access to blue, whereas I have access to Odin clicks. I don't know which one of those is more important. It certainly seems like he's having a tough time defending, even if I lose all this freeze. Yeah, okay. So this defends actually pretty comfortably for him. At which point, what am I doing, right? This doesn't defend. This doesn't defend. Right, well, I'm holding the Odin. This doesn't defend. This defends. Amazing. But this does not seem like it's gonna win, you know? He just has so much more blue. I don't know. Suddenly, like, I am breaching here and there's nothing he can do about it? No, he can hold drones, right? Yeah. And I'm losing all my drones, so I'm getting killed next turn. I don't know. It feels like he's got me if I don't start clicking the Odin. At least by clicking the Odin, I put some pressure on. So clearly I must have made my mistake earlier. Like, was this whole Odin with no blast forges thing just too silly? Or could I have worked in more Ferritin sacks or something? Probably not. Like, I think Blood Ragers are pretty important. I don't know. Okay, well, that was an interesting game. I'm not sure what I learned from it, sadly. Like, definitely I learned something, but I don't know what. I was just thinking, like, what if I had built a second Animus for more, so that I could keep building Ferritin sacks while also building other attackers? Is that good? Like a, Animus as, like, 2 very slow blast forges? It doesn't seem that great. Like, the slowness is really important. Right, it takes 3 turns for the blast forges to arrive instead of 1, and you have to have sunk some gold into the Ferritin train. Anyone on here? Yeah, we analyzed the game by Razor 1N back in the Why Did I Lose series. Oh my god, I hope no one ever sends me a base plus 11 set to analyze. Ugh. There's so much going on. I could spend hours in the pregame screen. Like, that's something I like about the Why Did I Lose series. It's I have as much time as I like to analyze the set when I'm explaining what to do, because I'm playing against Masterbot. I feel like if I had 2 minutes in ladder games, or like 6 minutes to look over the set, I would be happier. But I understand that that would be a big nuisance. But I don't know, I feel like the 10 seconds you get is just not long enough. What do I do? Wild drones? Should be pretty good for, like, Odin rushes or something, right? And again, there's Ferritin sacks. You don't have to commit to the 3rd blue. And with Deadeye, you really do want double blue. But, I mean, I guess... if you try to go the Ferritin sack route, you'll get your Odin a lot later, won't you? Maybe that's fine while everyone's building Deadeyes and droning. Like, okay, well, question. Are we getting Deadeyes before the Odin? I don't know the answer. Could you just go Thunderhead and make the Odin look kind of silly? Probably not. I think it's pretty clear we're doing this. I just don't know what I'm doing next. Get a 4th NG into double wild? I don't know. It's gonna be a weird game with Odin producing like exactly 3 attacks, so you just start killing wild drones. Now we get a Blast Forge and we have 8 left, which is like Wild Drone. Seems pretty good. Or we could, no, we can't quite get an Animus, huh? You could cut a drone for an Animus. To get Ferritin sacks and like try to live with 1 red and a blue or 2, probably 2 blue. It gives you access to Corpus, which seems pretty cool, as well as making, you know, Tarsiers instead of Steel Splitters for your attackers. Here I'm building like 2 Ferritin sacks, 2 Blast Forges, and a drone. Seems a little bit weird, but alright. Next turn, so I have 15 income. Next turn I can buy a Deadeye. And like... do I want 2 Ferritin sacks? Maybe I just want 1? And like a Tarsier? Lets me drone up more. No, because I want to build a Deadeye next turn, so I want 2 Blast Forges. And then, like, the Tarsier's not doing anything if I'm building the Odin, so I might as well just do this, I think. I can use these Ferritin sacks for, like, walls or something. I'm feeling pretty dumb about this whole Ferritin sack Odin business after, like, literally just losing a game with it. Oh my god, and he's getting it first, of course. Like, I should pay attention to this crap, you know? Ugh. No. Because I'm only clicking 1 Ferritin sack next turn. So he threatens 7 attack, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. God, I'm bad at this game. So I can't do this and click the Corpus. What if instead of Deadeye... Instead of Deadeye, I can build a wall, and just admit that I was wrong building this second Blast Forge. Now I can build Odin if I hold a drone. Or if I build Rhino instead of Corpus, I don't have to hold the drone, right? Which means I can buy one more drone. Next turn, 3. Yeah, now I'm defended against the Odin. Everything about this build looks awful. Of course, he's unlikely to actually attack into this. You know, he's just killing wilds. But I kind of needed to protect myself, I think. And I'm laughably overtech'd now, aren't I? Yeah. Sigh. Okay. Well, I don't like that. Oh good, he's overteching too. No, just more drones. I don't know, I'm sure he'll prove me wrong, show that this is not overteching. And it looks a little silly to have a Ferritin sack lying around and just build more Ferritin sacks. I was thinking I could like do it and say, hey, I'll use this to build an extra Deadeye someday, right? But I think that actually it's just silly. I should not do that. Just build some attackers and like try to kill him somehow. So the idea with the Ferritin sack is that it lets you get the Odin with a smaller tech investment. You don't need 3 blue, right? But actually 2 blue and a red is an even bigger tech investment than 3 blue. Or 2 blue and 2 red, I should say. 2 blast torches and an animus is a bigger tech investment. It's harder to get to continue buying stuff this way. So I bought fewer drones, and in exchange I got more stuff I can't spend, you know? Like, ugh. Like I'm literally just about out of drones. He has quite a few left, and I have a slight attacker lead to make up for it, I guess. For what that's worth. But he's now about to start like actually attacking my defenses. I don't know. I feel pretty like awful about this game. But I don't think I should resign yet because I do have a slight lead in attackers. Very, very slight. Probably it's about Corpus time. A more efficient defender than Wall. I don't know. It probably, I could have squeezed in another Tarsier or so. But I guess maybe not if I want to attack with the Odin, actually, which I kind of have to. He's clearly winning the long game, and I need to make the game short, therefore. Ugh, help! Next turn, $9 if I click this is enough to click plus Wall, I guess. Yeah, I'm not doing any damage here. Okay, I you got me. I need to like figure out when this Ferritin Sack Odin thing is any good, and not just like go for it because it's there. I also like don't really understand wild drones very well, and I don't think I understand Deadeye's that great either. I think I just tried to go for like way too low econ, way too much tech. Thought I was being clever. But really, it's not clever at all? To, like, if you can do it with a single Blast Forge or no Blast Forges, yes, you have less tech commitment then. I mean, of course, there are other downsides, but you've committed to less tech. But with 2 Blast Forges, the Ferritin Sack, like, sure, it can be good if you have enough econ to spend BBRR every turn. But with wild drones, I can't make any kind of guarantee like that. And so this is just more tech that I can't spend, not actually less. Alright, I don't want to linger too long on this game. I'm just feeling down about it. So we are going to end the episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.